Instagram to send that live once the video feed pops up. There we go. We are live on Instagram. Oops, still waiting on Fun Emotion Toys. Oh, okay. My Fun Emotion Toys Instagram is unresponsive for right now. If you're hanging out in the live stream, hello. Excited to be hanging out playing with some Shashibo. I will be showing off lots of Shashibo shapeshifting shortly. I'm just having some technical difficulties with one of our Instagram accounts for some reason. Cassandra, it just went unresponsive, so I am going to have to redo that connection, which will take me just a moment. So, bear with me, folks. Apologies for the technical difficulties. Okay, they should be connecting soon. Here we go. All right, we are live on all platforms that we are going to be live on. Thank you so much for hanging out. Save It Herb is going to finally finish his massive build. I have no way to keep on seeing installations of that huge thing going on over there, here and there. That thing is, that's so exciting. I can't wait to see where it ends up, my friend. Shashibo Holic is in here. Let's go. Welcome, welcome. We are live and playing with Shashibo. This magical shape-shifting toy that I'm holding on to right here is called Shashibo. It's a shape-shifting box that folds into over 100 different shapes. It's completely exploratory. There's no real right or wrong way to play with it. It's all about seeing if you can find all of those possibilities. And then, when you start to get tired of, just those over 100 different shapes, you can start to find interesting ways of connecting multiple. It's so satisfying. So we're going to listen to some clicking and clacking of magnets. And today is one of the last days that you can take advantage of 25% off of every single toy that you need for stocking stuffers, for fidgeters, for video gamers, for athletes, for science nerds, for mom, for dad, for grandma and grandpa even. All ages are welcome to play with Shashibo. It proves a real challenge to each and every one of them. Somebody is proposing 3 squirrels, which is, of course, the shape I just made. This guy right here. And an ice cream cone is what they said. 3 squirrels and an ice cream cone. So we're going to see what we can make with 3 squirrels and an ice cream cone. If you want to know how to make this squirrel shape from the cube, we're going to just take one section of our cube, open it up into this nice crown shape, open that crown like a book, passing this section through the middle and pulling it open. You notice that this point up top, I also let kind of open up into this hexagonal tab shape. And now from this loose slack-jawed hive, I can take this section right here and start folding it this way. This section folded in like so to make that really lovely point. And that is my third squirrel, but I'm going to make a more cohesive choice with the patterns there. And that shape by itself is really nice. But my friend is suggesting I take an ice cream cone, which we make by flipping our Shashibo inside out entirely, taking all three sections from one side and passing them through the middle, one at a time, to make sure that it flows nicely. And then I'm going to take two of these sections that I just passed through the middle, and I'm going to bring them to connect face to face on these triangles, like so. Okay? And you'll notice that I let this section that's in between those two pieces kind of scoop down underneath, just like so. And now I can take this section right here and fold it the same way I did the head of the squirrel into my ice cream cone shape. So our ice cream cone, we're going to try and figure out how to add somewhere on here. I almost wonder if I could take this ice cream cone and kind of get the point fit down through here. This would be a nice woven shape. Can I tuck the tail of the squirrel inside that ice cream cone? This is a tricky one to do, much less to show, especially since I've never done it before. Oh, look at that. Very nice combo. Now, I can add both of these other kind of heads of the squirrels into my ice cream cone like so. I can make this a little easier by kind of opening up the ball end. And there we are. Beautiful combination. I can say that that is definitely one that I hadn't thought to do before. Awesome. Awesome suggestion. That was really satisfying. Nice one, guys. What's up? Yeah. Good to see y'all in the chat. Look at this awesome combo from I Am the MC Mac. The Mick Mac, maybe. That's the ice cream cone on the squirrel, on three squirrels. And I do like that you can kind of open it like so. If only the magnets held there. You know what? Let's do it. We're going to do this 4 times and get it all put together. Although I'm tempted to do it 3 times. No, I see. I see the problem with that. Never mind. Thought maybe I could connect it on the other end of that spike, but you could do that 4 times for sure. It would look about the same with just that piece showing through as taking 3 squirrels and connecting 4 of them, or putting like a UFO at the center or something like that. But it would have a slightly different center. So yeah, why not? Let's try it out. There we go. Kind of want to just do a bunch more of those at some point. Just one squirrel and the ice cream cone woven like that, and see if there's some combinations around that too. But then we would connect them like so, potentially. Oh, there's no magnetic connection at the center, but you could connect them like that as well. Very fun. Could put a star around each of those balls. Which of course is a very nice connection as well. Great combo. Thanks for the suggestion. I gotta give a shout out to another great combo that I saw on the Discord last week. Sorry about that, guys. Not sure what happened. Okay. So yeah, I'm wondering if let me know if my connection keeps being spotty or something, Cassandra. Just or if I'm cutting out a whole lot. It's pretty windy outside. That could have something to do with it. I don't know. But I am having some Wi-Fi stuff apparently pop up on my end, so we'll see. Sorry if it gets cut short, guys. I'll try to keep coming back on. Not sure what's going on. Anyway, got to give a shout out to a build that I saw on the Discord. It was a combo of 4 octa, and it was 2 of this shape right here, and 2 of these, and we connect. Or I guess it was a 3. It was a 3 combo. My bad, everybody. But you could continue to fold this. And I only made it once like a week ago. Oh, I connected it on the wrong side. That's my bad. There we go. So there's two different points. There's some that open up halfway down, and that's the ones that we want to leave open. You can make some pretty cool stuff by just twisting and folding. That's a really nice combo right there. That one pairs very well with the double diamond. That actually ends up being a really cool way. You might start to see where I'm going from that profile right there. But if I put another one of these on top, oops. If I switch which side I have folded in, I can make my patterns lined up. So see how over here it's the same shells as over here, but on the opposite pattern. I just open this side up, close this side down, and fold it back in exactly the same. And my pattern will be switched so that they match. And then I can stack these on top of each other. And it's a really nice build. A couple ways that you can do this with Octa, but I really like this one. It's very satisfying. And I gotta say, there's some pretty cool things that you can do with 2 of this particular combo of 3, so 6 Octa. Look at the depth in there. Another really nice combo. So huge shout out to the Discord. If you are not a member of the Discord already, go ahead and join. If you want to see cool geometries, shapes that blow your mind every day, it's a good place to be. Can never have too much fun. Absolutely right. There's no such thing. I've never had too much fun, and I've had a lot of fun, let me tell you. That's also a really nice combo. If you didn't see that, that is what happens when you take the original shape and just twist it, like so. You get these 2 pieces, and if you twist it in the same direction instead of having a mirrored version, you can get them to mesh and make this really complex. It's kind of cube-based, so I guess it's hexahedral in some capacity, but there's a lot of weird stuff going on in there, so don't ask me to tell you what the proper term is for all of it. But a really brilliant combination. Been having a lot of fun finding different connections. Now if I twist it to be a mirrored version instead, you can connect them in a couple different ways, of course. And you can use a shape like this to try and make a connection between those, but you'd be wrong to, because it doesn't quite work. So we're going to flip it around like so. There we go. Once we flip those magnets around, you have a connection. And now that adds an extra hinge. Yeah, no extra movement, just that hinge. But that's kind of nice anyway. There we go. Another way to make that same shape from earlier. Yeah is right. It's a great build. And it is lots of fun to play with the different designs. Like, let me make one out of infinity here. And there is a cool thing that you can do when you let it open up like that. Just like so. Take two and have them connect like so. That's a really solid connection right there. Lots of magnets holding those things together. Oh no. Hang on, guys. Looking for my... I know I have another octa in that design. Wild. Okay, well... I guess I'll use one of these. Wish me luck in finding that other that other one that's not showing itself to me at the moment. People with several with a large collection of Shashibo out there know what I'm talking about. Well, I suppose if I want some kind of symmetry, I should make this one the bloom and the other two the... Oh, I'm not remembering this shape. Maybe it's the bat. Is that what it's called? There we go. So that's pretty nice. There we go. Alright, guys. I don't know where my other octa are, but it's bugging me. I must have set them down somewhere else in the house or something. Oh, well. Well, let's see. How about we do a live unboxing of some octa? If you're looking for the perfect gift for a Shashibo lover in your life, whether that Shashibo lover is you or someone else, you need to check out the newest member of the Shashibo family, the Octa. This thing folds into over 30 different shapes. It's completely exploratory, just like Shashibo. Lots of different shapes to find as you shapeshift and explore. Fully compatible with the original Shashibo. You can take your original Shashibo collection and find all sorts of ways to get it connected with Octa. And it's a really satisfying addition to any Shashibologist's collection. It's also a great starter if you're looking for a low-cost entry into the shape-shifting universe. Check it out. There's lots of interesting ways to get them to play, but you're going to find yourself wanting more. So take advantage of the 25% off that we have on our entire website right now. Just for the next couple of days. That is available through the morning of the 18th, which is the latest that you could order anything to get it in time for Christmas. That's the latest we can guarantee being able to get it to you in time. Who says the morning of the 19th? But I'm not so sure because I read the prompt pretty carefully. All right, we'll see. We'll see who's right. Well, try and do it by the 18th, chat, just in case. Cross your fingers and hope that the 19th it's still available. But it's a great way to get yourself a bunch of Shashibo, whether you're trying to expand the collection of a loved one in your life or to start one. They're going to want more than one so that they can start using the magnets within each of these, which is why they cost what they cost, in order to find all sorts of creative connections, magnetic and geometric and otherwise. I haven't found any that are in a different category, but you know, I don't want to discriminate. If you find something that's different than a magnetic or a geometric connection, we'll hear you out. Just let me know. I'll be interested to see what you find. Ooh, that's kind of a cool one, guys. Well, I was just exploring on what that thing does. Have you considered making a bag to store all of your Shashibo? We have considered that, Crystal B. Thanks for the recommendation. It is a great idea. We would love to have a Shashibo specific carrying case of some kind. So stay tuned, and you just might see one pop up. But probably not this weekend. If I remember correctly, that commenter on TikTok is an affiliate of ours, so thanks for tuning in. Happy to be hanging out and shapeshifting. If you have any requests for tutorials or something like that, feel free to let me know. Anyone in the chat. If you're looking for anything in particular, let me know. I like that little stand for the flower petal. It's got a, it's called the blossom or something, or the bloom. It's called the bloom. I always mix up the bloom and the blossom. But I think that either one is very fitting for a flower petal stand. That's how it's sitting upright. And I've got these two kind of snail-esque shapes mirrored and back to back, and those will fit just like so with the petal on top. Beautiful combination, super satisfying. Save It Herb says they may need more than one of those bags. I definitely would need a couple at least. Got another question from TikTok, or a comment. One of my favorites is the half deca platform with 2 inside the star. Ooh. I don't know exactly what you mean by half deca platform, but I'm just absolutely itching to find out. So if you are not a part of our Discord, please join it and show us what you're talking about with a half deca platform. Inside a star, because that sounds pretty exciting to me. I hear what you're saying, yeah, but I think it's actually the other way around. I think that it makes more sense to me that the blossom would be closed and the bloom, because like when a flower blooms, it's open, and you would call a closed one a blossom, right? But maybe I've been calling flowers wrong this whole time. I'm a Shashibo expert, not a flower expert, so please don't take my word as law there. And I don't think that I've done a cosmos flower in too long. Oh, our mod is telling me that they think that girl Taylor on TikTok is talking about 2 domes placed inside of a star, which I have absolutely heard of. And maybe that's why I misunderstood you, because this is a dome, and half of this dome would be a half dome. There's no reason to call this anything other than a dome, because it's half of a ball. So a dome, not a half dome. Let's do it. And then we can take a star and get that to fit perfectly around our now rhombic dodecahedron. You haven't missed a bag, yeah. We were just talking about how it'd be nice to have a Shashibo bag. An official Shashibo bag. And I agree. I hope you guys get one soon. If you guys didn't know, you can make most of the shapes that you make by putting a cube inside of a ball with 2 snakes. Can you make a supermoto with 4 Shashibos squared? You absolutely can, my friend. And we very well may. I'm going to use infinity this time. I'm going to take my infinity and I'm going to open it up into this nice long ribbon. I'm going to leave that ribbon just like so. And I'm going to take another one of my infinities and I'm going to open it up into another nice long ribbon. I'm going to make sure that my ribbons are in the same color orientation. That way it'll look nice. And then I'm going to take those 2 ribbons back to back and I'm going to open them down the middle. Not down this middle. See how when I open it down this middle, they just pull apart? That's back to back. We want to twist it and open it right down that middle. And now, what I have made looks like a moto, or half of a duomoto. So it stands to reason that if I were to take one more and do the exact same thing, I would then have on my hands a supersized duomoto, as the chat referred to it. And that's real. Each of these pieces operates with the full geometric capacity of half of a Duomoto, but on a super scale. So we can take both of these pieces and make a giant rhombic dodecahedron. It's beautiful. You can't make a half dome with a regular Shashibo. You might be able to do it on a super size with Shashibo squared. I feel like maybe there was a time that I did that, or I came close or something in a live stream. I've done a lot of these live streams, guys. So thanks to those of you who've been tuning in since the very beginning, way back in like March, when I really started this drive to be live streaming more. It's been a fun journey. I've gotten to know some of you really well, which has been really nice. And I'm being genuine, guys. Like I have really appreciated the community that has built around people just hanging out on a semi-regular basis. And then not hearing from me for a week because something went wrong, and then tuning back in. It's been great. Or I had a trade show or something like that. Yeah, it wasn't like every week. There was a lot of trade shows in there that made it so that I could not live stream. But I just got a question from Instagram about a black and white Shashibo. I do have black and white Shashibo. One of my favorite designs, in fact. I just think it's so satisfying, especially when you start to repeat them. When you make builds with this design, oh, they look so cool. They look so cool. Do I have... Yeah, I've had this wheel in black and white for a while. Just sitting nearby, because I like the way it looks, man. So satisfying. But I didn't get to finish my Duomoto presentation. I'm going to be so mad when I go back to re-edit this, because there's just going to be 10 minutes where I talked about something completely different. LOL. But I take both of my half motos, or actually both of my motos, half of a Duomoto, and now I can operate all four of them like two motos put together. Which is why when you get to shapes like this, we kind of stop keeping track of them, because we already kept track of them to a certain degree with the Duomoto the first time, and so we just wrote Duomoto. You know? Megamoto. Day 67 of asking for black and white Octa. Day 67 of me telling that would be a great idea, and I can't wait till it exists. The Ezra's wheel is made of 8 Shashibo. Great question. Oh, isn't that so nice? And then you can really separate to see where each of the pieces are. I love stuff like this. Hang on, let me show you. I can see not just where each half of the Duomoto is, but also where each Shashibo squared is within that. So I have one of my squareds in this shape. You can see that in the combo there. And I have the other one in this shape we call the geode. And then while it used to be these two Shashibo squared paired, one that's in that open ring shape and one that's in the geode. Hang on while I put those back together. Okay. So it was one of these and one of those put together. I could also make that same combo of two with just those two pieces put together. It's so satisfying. I have somebody asking if I could do a tutorial on how to put the two Shashibo snakes. Well, two Shashibo snakes could be put together in a bunch of different ways. So let's explore some of those ways. But I'm going to take a guess as to which way you may be asking about. And so I'm going to do this tutorial, but I may do it relatively quickly, just because I have done it before and there are recordings of it out there. So if you want to see it slower, I have some great recordings in our Shashibo tutorials playlist that is available on YouTube. I also have a playlist on TikTok. So to get to a snake with your Shashibo, you're going to open up your cube into the crown shape. You're going to open up your crown like a book to make the spaceship. And you're going to take this section and pull it open. Now you have two pieces in the middle here, one on either side, that are still connected. And I'm going to push each of those through the middle to make my Shashibo inside out in this nice open ring. I'm now going to let my ring collapse down the middle in half, just like so, and that's my snake. And so there's a lot of different orientations of the snake. Snakes are very flexible, of course. Many different things that you can make with two snakes. However, there is one that I often do a lot, which is the hourglass combo, and that one is super satisfying. So if I get two of my snakes aligned just like so, look how these two are in the same alignment and that nice kind of semicircle-ish shape. Looks like half of a hexagon cut down this way. If I get each of those in the same orientation, not in mirrored orientation, to connect on their bellies, just like that down the middle, and I just need to tuck their heads and their tails in to make my hourglass shape. And that is probably my favorite combo of two snakes. And yeah, is absolutely right. You can deconstruct builds, or even just two Shashibo shapes like this one to find new combos across the family. That's how you do it. You explore piece by piece, step by step. And one day, you know a lot more than you used to, but still not all of it. We got another question from Instagram, or a comment from Instagram saying that these have low-key been pushing them away from, I can't say the name of that on this live, but a popular plastic building brick company. And listen, I hear you. Only having to get it's about only having to get one piece. If you've been trying to put your finger on why this is more appealing, because I also am a big collector of that very popular plastic brick building company. However, I myself have spent way more time playing with Shashibo as of late because I can make all of the pieces that I need. I just need to get more of the same thing. So if I need more of these cool star pieces, I don't need to buy a whole bunch more of those star pieces and make sure that they're the colors that I want or whatever. I just have to get another Shashibo so I can make another one of those star pieces. Same with this hex. And now I just keep on changing it into all of the different pieces that I need for a build. So there's never the problem of, oh, if I just had, you can just make what you need. And that's why I think that they're better. How many cubes do you have in total? I have somewhere in the ballpark of like 200. I haven't really done a very thorough count in a while. But, you know, I don't use all of them in lives because some of them are discontinued designs. Some of them are licensed, and so I can't, like, if I do a tutorial with a licensed design, I can't necessarily post it unless we get that license to approve the video. So it's fun to show them off, but, you know, I do limit myself a little bit. And I, call me biased, but I also have favorites. I have some of these designs that are my favorites, and so I use them over and over again. But if you have something specific that you want to see, let me know. I'd be happy to share it. I just try not to get them caught up in the middle of builds in a way that ruin a clip or something for later. It's purely selfish. I'm just trying to make my life easier. Oh. I'm adding some Shashibo Octa on each of the corners of my combo here. I'm adding them in the bloom. Guys, what the heck did I do with my other Infinity Octa? Like, that's going to be the theme for this stream. It's just me doing something cool and then thinking, oh, if I just had a couple more of my Octa, and then looking for it for an hour. Because I have more than this. Anyway. That girl Taylor just asked, what's the largest construct that you have done so far? I think the largest one that I've ever done was like 296 or something like that. It was a pretty big one. And I did it on a live stream. So I think like Save It Herb and King Ravano were there for that. Shallon was probably there for that. Modern Day Mother probably popped in and out. Yeah was probably there for that. He's been with us since Christmas. I mean, I think his collection took off even faster than mine. I found my Octa! Y'all. That's so satisfying. Finally. Buy more, then no need to worry if you can't find it. I mean, fair enough. I asked for some more for Christmas, so. Thank you, Cassandra. I'm excited that I found it too. If I wanted to make this build a tad more complete, what I would do is I would take a UFO and get it to connect to the top here. There we go. And then I would put these two back on, and I would rotate it one. And I would take these two off. And I'm just adding whichever of the 4 patterns that I've used so far that I don't see present on that side. That way I don't have any balance issues. I'm just going to rotate it over here. I immediately closed up all my blooms. So there's Vapor, Solar, and Cosmos, which means that polar is not present. And then I don't have any real clashes. And I flip it to this side. The only one that's left is Solar. And now I have have a solid rhombic dodecahedron under there. With some blooms on top, which kind of makes it look like a bunch of rhombic dodecahedrons kind of stacked amongst a bunch of stellated rhombic dodecahedrons. It's a cool illusion. I like it. We got another Ezra's Wheel tutorial requested. No problem, my friend. If you and at this point, I'm just assembling it in whatever color you want. So feel free to request a kind of color or design or something if you're looking for something specific. Otherwise, I might just do it in like, I don't know, moon or something if that's okay. Yes, happy to do a wheel tutorial. That's always fun. It's a great build. I'll show you the tricky bits as best as I can. But if you want a more fleshed out tutorial, check out our tutorials on YouTube and on Instagram, or on TikTok, and on Instagram. We should have tutorial playlists on all of those different platforms. If you don't find it on one, check it on another. YouTube is probably the best resource if you're looking for all of our really comprehensive tutorials. And it's always easier to show this stuff off in landscape as well. So we're going to make a specific shape for this build called the swan. This is the swan. Looks like a crown from this angle until I flip it over and you realize that that back portion of the crown is folded out into this hexagonal tab. And that is a swan. I'm going to make a couple more swans. I'm going to need 8 for this build. An elements wheel does look pretty epic. I only have 4 elements. I could do elements and wings. So I'm opening it up into my crown, flipping it over, taking this section of the back, and pulling it open. You can have your star as a landing zone if you would like, but you're going to take your star, that point right there, and open it up into a tab. Doesn't really actually matter which one you open up into a tab, but it does matter that you only do it once. And I am going to take that tab that I just made, and I'm going to pass it through the center of another one of my swans, just like so. And that is the base for the chain that you're going to make. But this is where it gets tricky with that third Shashibo. So I'm going to open up this combo because I need to get this tab through this center and tuck behind this point. Oops, you couldn't see that. Through this center and tucked behind this point. And to do that, I'm going to reach down and I'm going to pull the point up. I know I undid kind of my swans a little bit, but that's okay. They'll go back. It's pretty easy. Right now what I have is a star and a swan. So if you'd like that as a landing zone, then make your star and your swan. Put your swan tail, I guess, through the star center. And then take your next swan, and you're going to add it in, going in the opposite direction of that first one. So that first one went through this side, and this one is going to go through this side, just like so. Okay? Now that doesn't look like it, but that's pretty close to your chain. You can now actually morph the star by taking this tab right here and both of the hinges. So there are 3 hinges that align right here. There's this tab, this point, and this point. Those are all in line with each other. You can move all 3 of those hinges forward at one time. And that makes 3 woven swans in a row. I do it in a very different way on that other YouTube video, so that may help you more. That one, the way that I just did it may help you more. It doesn't matter which way. But in any step, you're going to be opening it up to create a gap big enough for the tab to go behind the second to last and over the last swan in your chain. And then you close that all down. And you keep going. Swan after swan till you have all 8 assembled in that same way. And then you can close that whole chain down for good, pretty much. Well, until the exact next step, where you take both ends of that chain and you bring them towards each other. I'm going to be careful to try and support as much of the sides of this as I can. I'm getting my hands, I don't know if you can see, as far down the line of that chain as I can to try, while keeping control of the top and bottom, just like so, using the table as well to help me as I take this section right here and pass it through this star in the same way that I just did, behind the point of that second to last cube, and now doing the same thing here where I need to take this section and open it enough for this point, the last point, to get tucked in there. And then it looks like this loose mess for a second. So you pinch in the sides. The closure is the trickiest part. The closure is the trickiest part, I'm not going to lie to you. It's that and getting the third one in. Once you can figure out those 2 aspects, you got it. You got it. And I mean, if you think it's tricky, imagine how it felt when I wasn't sure if it was even supposed to go like that. You know, I was so worried that I was going to break some of those Shashibo. But I had some faith. It really seemed like it would work. And it helped that I went too far at first, like I thought maybe it would work with 12, and then that was too loose, and so I just took Shashibo out until it was a perfect fit. I think if I had started too tight, then I may not have actually followed through and kept adding any, Who knows? I can't say for sure, but was certainly a pretty exciting day for me when I came across it, before I even knew that no one else knew about it. Or at least no one else at Fun in Motion knew about it. I imagine there was somebody else. Save It Herb did it with knockoffs first. Nice. I mean, not very nice. But, I suppose if you're worried about losing Shashibo, maybe that's what you were saying. If you're worried about losing Shashibo, then you want to do it with some that you don't care about before you accidentally lose Shashibo. That was the other thing, is once I had it together, I was worried I wouldn't be able to get it undone. Maybe I've said this enough that everybody knows it already, but the first time that I did that woven connection of swans, I gotta get enough of them put together that you can see what I'm talking about here. This table literally isn't wide enough to make this shape all the way. But the first time that I ever did this connection was in a circle like that. So you see how I have just a little bit of flex before I start to put stress on some hinges. I kept that curve going for like 50 something Shashibo, 54 or something like that, to make a giant wheel that way before I was like, oh, what if I just did it with a few less this way? Split mushroom scorpion combo sounds pretty exciting. Split mushroom, yeah, that's a scary one sometimes. But there is a right and a wrong way to do it, for sure. For example, from this approach, you don't want to just push this in there. You got to kind of pull this one through and then get that guy tucked behind, just like so. And then to get it out, you kind of just undo that. But certainly I understand feeling wary about that. Split mushroom scorpion combo. If I had to guess, a pretty cool split mushroom and scorpion combo would look something like this. And that is a pretty cool combo, I must say. Although, is it in the split mushroom technically when it's combined like that? Oh yeah, it's connecting with itself, so yeah. Very nice. Double scorpions for the win. I mean, I may feel similarly, my friend. Here, you guys tell me. I mean, that helix with the scorpion is a really nice combo. But I just love how satisfying it is to get those tails lined up. Oh, so satisfying. It spins too. Yeah, thanks for all these suggestions, guys. I mean, that's been one of my favorite parts about getting the Discord community is actually, you know, being exposed to more people who have more ideas. And the fact that I've been playing with this thing for 4 years, and am still constantly learning new ways to combine, new shapes to make with individuals. That's so exciting to me. There's a really nice 12 scorpion build, which we're going to do right now. Oh, shoot, guys. We're going to do it in just a moment. I will be right back, but my phone is about to die, so I need to plug it in. As you can see, I changed up my system. Just a little bit. Okay, let's see, did I mess with the angle too much there? Not too much. Alrighty. Now I got to remember what I was going to do before I left. Oh, I was going to show you a cool 12 Scorpions build. Thank you for your patience. We're back to play with more fun things. I'm taking all the octa off of this rhombic dodecahedron that I made earlier. And we're going to take this UFO out. And I'm going to make a couple of my Scorpions. Also, shout out to the Discord, everybody. Join it through the link below. And share your shapes. We have a whole section where we make it possible to share pictures with us that you will see on our website and in our posts, which is always a fun little way to be engaged. So that's 3 Scorpions, just like so. I'm going to make a couple more. And when I get enough of these, I can connect them all by those hive tabs on the inside. And we'll see what we get. There we go. Just got to make one more unit. I'm getting some feedback from the music. Is anybody else hearing that? Or is that just me? My audio got scratchy. Is it still scratchy, everybody, or is it just while the music was going? Ooh, nice. So we're just taking out each of these sections, connecting them by those tabs, and that is a pretty striking 12 Shashibo build right there. I mean, it's so tall the camera is having trouble getting a hold of it. Oh, that's okay. What I could do is add a star or a UFO to this side of each of those pieces. So let's do that. Let's try a star. That'll keep it nice and open still. I could connect each of them by the stars. It's better, but a little bit scratchy, it sounds like. Your sound system needs some throat lozenges, LOL. Okay, that's a close one. It's a close one. It's tricky because I would rather the hinges give way than tear, right? I'd rather it fold. But it's close. That's a really cool combo. Sounds like maybe the audio is doing a lot better. That's good. Trying to think of anything else cool to do. There's going to be a ton of stuff to do with these scorpions. This I always know is a really cool one. It's taking the scorpions and connecting them at their head, at the point, instead of at the tail. And so one of the ways that I can actually build on that shape is putting like a UFO or something on the bottom, which just gives it a lot of rigidity, which is nice. I'm going to use solar instead so that you can see the difference between them. I could do a ball as well, like so. But I'm going to do a UFO for a specific reason. And that reason is that I can take my scorpion shapes that I just spent all that time making. I can actually get each of them to fit just like so. Now I've got a stack of those shapes. And what I should have done was wait. I added a couple more so that I wouldn't be quite so finicky, because there's really only like 4 magnets per Shashibo holding them together here, and they're at disjointed places, and the shapes are wonky, so there's a few factors as to why it wouldn't hold together the easiest, but it still does hold together quite well. And I am going to take a UFO, stack it right there, and that'll just give that piece a little bit more rigidity before I stack this one on it. And then I'm going to continue. Except that I want to use solar. I already did that, and I don't know why I didn't continue using solar, but there we go. Vapor Shashibo. Yeah, is correct. Yeah. The best 4 Shashibo builds are certainly the ones where you do the same thing 3 times and then lock it in with a 4th. There are so many examples of that. There we go. And let me just tip it on its side so you can see our chain. Doesn't that look nice, guys? Now, I'm going to lock in that bottom just so I have a bit more rigidity. Oh, why not? Why not? Let's add one more. We've already got them and everything. That's why I tried the ice cream cone with the squirrels instead of the UFO. Yes, very nice. Very nice. So, really cool little tower there. And sure does look like there's some pretty cool ways to get some Shashibo figured out in there. We just might need to do a little figuring of our own. Let's try a tail like this. Boom. There it is. So squirrel comes back once again this stream. Let's see if I can get this third one in there. Boom. Y'all, these last few streams have consisted of some pretty epic builds. I'm having so much fun. Exploring shape-shifting geometry with you. Take the Mystic Ocean, put them in there. Sweet. Pretty epic tower. Let's see if I can show you this angle of it. Look at that. That's absolutely beautiful. And it stands. All right, you guys will see what this looks like vertically on the next live stream that I am back to looking at you guys face to face. That's pretty awesome. All right, had to set it there carefully. And let's bring back what we built last week, take that apart, and use those Shashibo now. Oh, sweet. Make a dinosaur. I can make a lizard. There's a lizard. It's about as close as I come to a dinosaur these days. It's a very geometric lizard. There's like a Pokemon or something that was geometric animal-esque things. So kind of reminds me of that. This is one of my favorite designs. Look at how different it looks when you flip it. Same shape, just on different sides of the artwork. There's that lovely ball design. I love that you can move. Look, it's got bright yellow and green at the center with purple and blue edges. But if I open it up on this side instead, still got green in the center, but now the purple and blue is in between instead of on those points. Instead, I've got those kind of purpley stars. Show you the first one again. Completely different orientation. And I love stuff like that. Lawrence Gartell does a great job with that. This is one of his Shashibo designs. You have those little small details at the center of those pieces, and it gets bigger as it spreads out. Now I've got those big pieces. They get thinner and smaller as it spreads out. Super satisfying. He continues that with some of his other designs. Like this one. This one is very festive. Each of the designs that I just showed you are part of the limited edition Lawrence Gartell set for Shashibo in this gift box. Makes the perfect holiday gift, and you get 25% off now through the 18th. Thanks for the comments, TikTok. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. If you're enjoying the live stream so far and want to support us, drop some likes. Even if you're not even if you've already done your holiday shopping, click on that link down at the bottom of your screen. Go view our profile, give us a follow. I am here just spreading the good word on this amazing shape-shifting box called Shashibo, which has really made my life better, genuinely. The fidgety aspect, the shape-shifting, the satisfying patterns, the calming, soothing sound of the magnets, the clicking and clacking. It's an all-around satisfying toy. And I have been better for the things that it's taught me, like letting go when a tower falls apart, or thinking outside the box, getting explorative. It's taught me useful things, like real life useful things, like pattern recognition, problem solving skills, spatial awareness. It's so good. You get to see on your journey where you might find something that looks similar to something that you've made before. And find incredible connections. It truly is infinite. The more that you have, the more you can do. And with just two, there are already infinite possibilities to discover and master. I mean, how do you even start to calculate? Cassandra and I were talking about this in the last live. How do you even start to calculate how many Shashibo there are, or how many shapes there are with two Shashibo? Because each of those 100 shapes can combine to each of those other 100 shapes in multiple different ways. And so how do you begin to even calculate what the possibilities are? It's practically infinite. And then the more that you have, the more possibilities you unlock. Hashtag practically infinite. Can you use 3? You absolutely can, my friend. 3 Shashibo work just as well, if not better, than 2. I mean, anywhere that you have a 120-degree angle, which you don't need to get out your compass and measure, you just notice something like this, some angle like this. It presents itself all over Shashibo. Something like this, where it isn't quite a 90-degree angle and it isn't smaller than that. It's a nice big wide angle, and 120 times 3 equals 360, which means you will get a three-way connection that fits perfectly. It's so satisfying. There's tons of free Shashibo builds. Can't even begin to explore them all, but even the ones that I'm showing you right now are just a couple of moves away from each other in the same ballpark, but end up looking completely different once connected. You might see a piece of one here and there, something similar between the two, but largely you got something brand new every time. And a lot of three Shashibo shapes like this one, which give you an excellent opportunity to add a fourth. Beautiful. So truly, as many Shashibos you happen to have on hand, that's as many as you can put together. If you have someone that you think would even like this a little bit, I guarantee you're right, they'll love it. Get them multiple, because it'll keep them engaged for hours. This is great, enriching, screen-free play. STEM accredited, tactile, and engaging play for kids and adults alike. Play is good for you. It's not something that you should grow up from or move beyond. Play will make your life better and the people around you. It will make their lives better as well, as long as you share your playful spirit with them. I mean, look at this. Shashibo is like geometric art in your hand. No need to be skilled with a brush. Just watch a few YouTube videos to learn how to make a couple shapes. Yeah, King Nirvana, you and I have been in this for 4 years playing with this toy. And engaged for 100% of that time. Never got tired of it once. I pushed a little too hard. It teaches you dexterity, fine motor skills, because not only can you build with them, but there are also cool tricks that you can learn, like making the hive spin, finding ways that you can add weight, learning things about physics to be able to get the hive to spin a little bit better and more secure, finding out what it takes to make other shapes able to spin. For example, I can take a few of my spaceships and get them connected at this point, but because there's only 2 magnets holding each of these together, even before I try and spin that shape, they're all going to fall apart. So I'll just take a star right here and start adding the tab of my spaceship through and taking that wing in the back and covering it. Again, opening it up so I can get that tab through. Last one, tab through, pulling this open so that it has the flow that it needs to go, because if it doesn't flow, it does not go. There, now it's all anchored by that star. Enough to spin, all 4 Shashibo. Yeah, Save It Herb is 100% right. Problem solving is a major aspect of playing with Shashibo. And it's one that I find adults struggle with the most. And so if you don't want your kids to turn out as dumb as you, I mean, as challenged as you, I do really kid, but we need to normalize play more in our lives so that people feel okay with exploring, with being wrong. The amount of people that I come across whether it's teaching to make a Shashibo shape or teaching to juggle or teaching to just meet life head on, you have to learn how to adapt, how to have things go wrong, and figure out how to overcome it. And so why not learn that in the realm of play rather than in real life where there are legit consequences? Start those lessons now. Normalize play, absolutely. It's good for you. I mean, I've had people ask me, wait, how is play good for you? I mean, why did you think we've been playing for so long? Why do you think animals play? They don't need it. Well, except that they do, because it changes their brains. It changes it's how they learn social skills. It's how we, as a species that is constantly within the process of learning about ourselves, about the world around us, about the people around us. Anyone I know who has decided that they've learned all that they need to know is unhappy. There, I said it. So if you want to be happy, get used to learning. It's the only way you'll get there. See, you tune into this chat just to learn a couple shapes, play with some cool magnetic toys. But play is an integral part of humanity. Anyone telling you otherwise is usually trying to sell you something. Usually supplements. Clip that. Clip that, Cassandra. That's why kids are so happy playing in the mud. Yeah, I mean, there are people who are like, oh, I just don't like getting dirty or something like that. It's like, because someone never let you when you were a kid. You were never able to get familiar with it, man. Dude, go outside and touch grass. It's so important for you. Don't get me wrong, video games are cool. There's a lot of great video games that do great things for your brain that teach you important skills. I'm not dissing it. However, if you want to exist in this physical world, you have to play with tactile things like this. You have to learn cause and effect. You have to learn problem-solving skills, spatial reasoning, pattern recognition. You have to learn how to learn, right? You can't just do it quickly, visualize yourself succeeding. You have to put in the work. You have to do step-by-step processes, and usually consult an elder, consult someone who knows more than you, consult someone who has had experience. And so I always encourage parents to learn alongside your kids. What are they playing with? What are they doing? What are they gaining from it? What do they enjoy about it? Get engaged, get locked in, and your life will start to be better, I promise. And you guys can see how satisfying it is for someone like me to be able to just make shapes, connect them, fold them back up, put them away. I have ADHD. I'm neurodivergent as heck. And these have been a really great resource for me to have something to fidget with while I am either focusing on a meeting or trying to express myself. My hands need to be busy usually to be able to think straight. And this gives me something constructive other than picking at my fingernails or, tearing styrofoam cups and plates apart and stuff like that. whatever your destructive habit is. Pick up a Shashibo and start shape-shifting. One of my favorites when I'm just going is making the ball and then going back to the cube. Making the ball and going back to the cube. While I was doing inventory at the toy store, while I'm sitting on a Zoom call for work, while I'm trying to get stream of consciousness down onto paper with a writing prompt, whatever the case. Repetitive tasks that are, complex enough that I'm not bored, right? The fidget spinner to a degree does a little bit of what I'm talking about, but it doesn't really engage you or your hands. And so something that actually gives you a little bit of a challenge ends up being a better fidget, even if it isn't as easy, right? One of the reasons the fidget spinner was so popular was anyone could do it instantly. Well, that's also why it went away so quickly, right? It was only popular for like a year because everyone got one, and then everyone was like, all right, well, that's what that was. What's the next thing? And this thing continues to challenge you, continues to inspire creativity, continues to unlock new possibilities, not just the more you explore, but also the more that you collect. At 25% off, now is the perfect time to expand your Shashibo collection. A shape-shifting toy changed my life. It could change yours and your family's lives. No more asking for iPads in the car constantly. Just clicks and clacks of magnets in the back. That's a legit testimonial from a mom on TikTok. I saw it with my own eyes, and I have seen it with my own eyes. I'm always the most popular member at a family party because I come stocked with the best toy that's ever been made, man. So, if you want to be a hit at your family gatherings, this season you've got just a couple days left to get 25% off of any Shashibo that you are looking to add to your collection this holiday season. Oh, that's a good one. King Ravana is talking about how Shashibo makes a really good memory game. Absolutely. Absolutely. There are definitely shapes that I will come back to after not making for a while and realize, hey, wait a second. I don't really remember every step of getting here. And so I have to work back through that puzzle, try and figure out, okay, what do I remember about this? What do I know about it? What can I look to replicate, and how do I get back there? There's quite a few shapes like that. So I would start taking pictures and keeping a better catalog. And honestly, that taught me organization. It helped me practice keeping my thoughts organized in a space, which I had never been good at. Everyone's always telling me to journal or to write stuff down or that kind of thing. And I just think, no, it's important to me. I'll remember it. Guys, I hate to say it. That is not how it works, unfortunately. It has never been how it worked for me. And some people are like that here, but for the rest of us heathens who have to actually use tools to remember stuff, get a toy that helps develop that skill. What the heck? Guys, my laptop is bugging out. I don't know why. Cassandra, let me know if there's an interruption to the stream at all, because my computer is doing some weird stuff. All right, so far so good. I'm just going to keep on keeping on until something breaks. As per usual. There we go, a nice puzzle piece to round it out. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now I could do a UFO right in there. I could also do some Z's hanging out here. Oh, no, I couldn't. The points will run into each other, but I could. Let's see. That runs into itself. How about this? Yeah, I think that'll work. Very nice. See if it'll stand on that point too, so you can see this side. Beautiful. So many satisfying builds. So fun, guys. Thanks for hanging out on this exploration of possibilities of my favorite toy, Shashibo. This thing does an amazing job of stimulating creativity, teaching you valuable skills about yourself, about geometry, about life, about problem-solving skills. And I truly feel blessed to get to be the one that introduces it to so many people. I mean, most of the coolest things I've ever done, I've done with Shashibo. You know? It definitely is an amazing toy. Without a doubt. Any tutorial requests? We're in kind of the last little bit of our stream, last 15 minutes or so of the stream. Anybody looking for a specific tutorial or got a specific build that they want to see, or I don't know, want to see something speedy? Nebula King has 4. They are so fun, my friend. Right, not only is it good for you, but it's also fun, right? There's so many things out there that are good for you, but not fun. Not only is this good for you, but it is fun. It's engaging. It's fidgety. The clicks and clacks are super satisfying. And it's high quality. It's wrapped in vinyl stickers, strong vinyl stickers. You can really pull on them without having too much of a problem. And the rule for shape-shifting with Shashibo is if it doesn't flow, it does not go. And as long as you obey that rule, you'll never have a problem with Shashibo. I've had most of my Shashibo for years. And as you can see, when I play with them, there are very few imperfections, if any. And most of the imperfections on my Shashibo were put there by my cat chewing on it. And so my recommendation would be to not leave your build out for your cat to chew on. I made that mistake too many times. I should have learned the first time. Shape Summit 26. Yeah, man. Can't wait to have it all together. Burrito Cubes inbound. Pudgy Cubes inbound. We're excited. We've got lots of new stuff cooking all the time, so stay tuned. The Discord is a great place to learn about new stuff coming up and discounts that are going on whenever they're going on. For example, right now we've got 25% off our whole shop on both TikTok and on our website, funandmotiontoys.com. So take advantage of that. If you're doing some last-minute holiday shopping, you should be able to get anything to you on time as long as it's ordered by the 18th of December. So follow us for some more tips and tricks. If you're new to the stream, thanks for joining us. Check out the Discord. Check out our website. Give us a follow because we are coming out with tutorials and guides and new announcements and fun live streams like this one all the time. So stay tuned. You'll want to see where we go because we've got some big stuff planned. There we go. This is one of my favorites. I've done it already a few times this week. Now I'm going to change it up a little bit, though. I am going to put some snails here. Ooh, this is a fun one. Can already see where it's going. I don't know if you can, chat. The meteor and comet are pretty cool. Meteor and the comet are pretty cool. I agree. I agree fully. There we go. A nice little snail build on top. I always think stuff like that is really cool. Where you can find a couple different ways of making something that looks very similar. Now, it would be harder to tell the difference between what I'm about to do if I had done some more color coordinating from the bat, but there's a whole bunch of snails, and now we're going to make a bunch of UFOs. Ooh, meteor is how you found split mushroom. That makes sense. Someone who's not currently live streaming, if you have a picture of a meteor, post it to the Discord, please. Or if you feel like making one and taking a picture. But now I've got all 8 of my Shashibo put together in this lovely design, which looks a lot like this lovely design. However, these 8 Shashibo are in very different combinations. Still, however, are these pieces magnetically and geometrically compatible with one another, which is super satisfying. So obviously made with the Hive and UFO combo, and these are made with, oh, that looks like the same thing. Just kidding. It's 2 snails. And then I can fold each of those bodies up and get it closed. Well, guys, if there aren't any other particular questions, I'm going to call it just a few minutes early on this live. I will be back on Thursday live, and I can't wait to see you guys there. Can't wait to share some cool new shapes, and can't wait to see what happens on the Discord between now and then. So join if you are not there already. Otherwise, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.